So in this training, what you're going to learn is pretty much the step-by-step process I use to build a personal brand that has brought in well over $1 million. Now, what I also want to do is touch on all of the key aspects that you need to dial in if you are trying to get clients for your SMMA, coaching, consulting business inbound through your personal brand. So what we're going to cover here in this training is applicable to you. If you're a beginner, you're at zero, you're trying to get this thing just started, or you already have an SMMA, a coaching business, consulting business, or you even sell digital products. So I made a claim at the very start of this video. I said my personal brand has made well over $1 million. Now I want to break that down for you. That has primarily come from coaching and consulting that I have done. Some of it, yes, has been digital products, but the biggest chunk being these two right here. Now, to build my personal brand, I didn't just use one social media platform. Now, in this training, we're going to focus on one social media platform because there is one platform that has brought my business by far the most revenue. And this is where I would put all my focus if I was to start again. But because I believe in you getting the real truth of what actually has happened, I have gotten clients through the YouTube content that I post here, through TikTok, and I'm sure other platforms that we've posted on, such as Spotify or even Pinterest. But the main focus is this, Instagram. This is what we're going to talk about today. Quick note, if you are a beginner, right, you don't have an offer, you don't know how much you're going to charge for your agency services, your coaching, consulting, digital products, you can still start your personal brand. In fact, it's better to start your personal brand before you know that stuff, because people are more likely to follow you when you don't have anything to sell them. Plus, you never want to create an offer or define your pricing in a vacuum. This is actually a lesson my student success manager has been drilling home to people in our program. If you're a beginner and you create a package for your SMMA today, you don't actually know if that package is in demand. You don't actually know if the market wants that offer, or if the pricing is too high, too low, or where it even sits. What you should be doing is creating your packages and offers based on, of course, what we know to be true. So talking to people like myself, students of ours, and people that have done well with this, all right, to get the insights as to kind of what we think will work. But the real truth is going to come from you going out there, having your offer in front of certain people and seeing if those people buy or if they don't. So you need to be creating your offer, not in a vacuum. And what better way to do it than to build your personal brand, get content out there, attract people to your stuff, and then from there, they will most likely give you the feedback as to what they actually want, not what you think they want. Cool. Got it? Let's rock and roll. So there's 4 steps we are going to go through today. Step 1, P&B. This is your profile and bio. For Instagram, it's very important, right? When you are setting up your profile, you're looking at the bio and you're thinking, what do I add in there to make it attractive to people? You want to look at these 2 things. Does it make you look authoritative? AKA, when someone reads your bio, that they go, wow, that's something that I've either not done or that, something I aspire to do. Because if so, someone is more likely to follow you. On top of that, basically, why should somebody follow you? What are you going to be providing, or what can you help them with directly? If you want to funnel hack what I've done, you can just go to my Instagram profile and you'll see exactly what I have. There's things I have in there that give me authority, probably things in my bio that you read that you have not done, and hence you feel that you can learn a thing or two from me. And number 2 is why. AKA, what can I give to you? What benefit are you going to get if you decide to follow me? Again, this links back to the authority. And if my authority piece is good enough, then the why takes care of itself. But if you're a beginner, you don't have, tons of accolades or case studies or these results that you can market, you're going to rely more on the why and less on the authority, because you might have a set thing that you can put in your bio to show that you have authority, right? People normally put in things such as how many followers they've gained for their clients, or a result they've helped their clients get, or how much money you've made yourself. But if you don't have any of those things, you're going to tap into the why more. So basically, if they see your content and click your profile, why should they follow you? Now, this is step 1, right? And this is really important because this is the foundation of what you are going to do next. But if you do not have this defined, I still want you to move on to stage 2, 3, and 4 and actually post content, for the simple reason that if you get caught in this, trying to figure out what's the perfect bio, the perfect profile, well, it doesn't exist. And you're telling yourself a lie. So spend 30 minutes on this, no more, and then move on. It's important, but the most important thing is actually posting content to social media, not how your bio looks or your profile. All right, next up is the feed. This is AKA Instagram's place where you're going to post content that is going to go out there. And this is where we hopefully attract new people. Now, we could break this down and, I do in other trainings in more detail. But what I want to get clear today is that there's two main kind of points you want to focus on here. So when you're creating content for your feed, whether it's graphics, carousels, quotes, or videos, you want to make sure that one type of content is what we call viral content, aka content that has the potential to go viral. Is it going to go viral every time? Hell no. But we need to ensure that some of the content has the mass appeal, has controversial statements, has the things that has the likelihood of getting out there in front of a new audience. And the second type of content is what we call nurture content. Because if I just post content that is controversial and gets me tons of views and clicks and engagements, but never really gives true value as to how I could help somebody, I'll probably not get many clients from the content. Right, the power of nurture content is that in my agency, I work with fitness coaches. So I have tons of data points on fitness coaches that were making really good money and then not so good money. I have an example of this guy that was making 50K a month and his audience was less than 50K. He had less than 50K followers. He was making 50K per month. On the flip side, I had other clients with 100K plus followers who double the audience yet would make like 20-30% of the money the other guy made. All right, they might make 10K. Some made less. I had people with 100K plus making less than 10K. So how's that possible, right? The maths don't math. Simply put, the guy with 100K was focused pretty much all on viral content. That's kind of just what he did. Stuff that would get people in, give them a bit of value, but not really deeply attacking their pain points, their problems, and the things that he could help them with. The guy doing 50K a month at 50K did some viral because he had a good audience, so he had to have viral content to bring the people in. But the growth of his business came from the nurture content. He was really good at striking the exact pain points that his audience was going through, then offering them a solution, which was his paid coaching program. And this guy was charging $5,000 for like a 90 to 120 day fitness coaching program. That sounds absurd even to me. When I met this guy, I was like, that is like, how is that even possible? Because they could get fitness coaching from some dude for $100 a month. Yet this man was charging $5,000. It's because he knew his audience so well. Of course, he attracted them in the first place with the viral content. Then he could nurture them incredibly well. So you need to have these two types of content. Go look at my Instagram profile. You'll see I do this. I have content that will get hundreds of thousands of views, but does it get me a client directly? No. What it does is it brings people into my funnel. It brings me into their awareness. And the other half of my content, if not more of it, is nurture content, aka content that will show I actually know a lot about this thing, and I know a lot about their pain points, and I know a lot about how I can get them to the place they want to get to, and I've got results to back it up. I've got all these things sprinkled in as nurture content. Because if you attract people like an influencer, but you don't know how to sell, well then yeah, you won't make as much money. Cool. Now I know you're thinking, okay, Adam, great, fantastic, makes sense. But when it comes to posting on my Instagram feed, when do I post? What hashtags do I use? How many times I post? How many times do I post a day? I know you've got all these technical questions. I'm going to give you a guideline. This is not the, Instagram guru blueprint, because you will have to test this for yourself. But for me, what has worked pretty well is 2 videos a day, typically split, 1 viral, 1 nurture. And then some days there'll be an extra post, which might be a graphic, a carousel, an extra piece talking about a promotion I'm doing or a certain student result I want to highlight. And this is nurture content, but roughly following that 50-50 approach. 2 a day. I don't think it matters what time of day you post. Of course, just don't be stupid with this. If your audience is American, post at American friendly times. If your audience is Irish, don't post at 4 a.m. in the middle of the night Irish time. Just be sensible about when you're posting. But I've tracked this in the past and I've never found a correlation between certain times. And as for hashtags and these things, yes, again, they're important, but these are not the foundations. The foundations are actually posting the content in the first place. So if you can post 1-2 videos a day every day for weeks on end, then you can start looking at hashtags. Then you can start looking at the time you post. But if you can't do those things, doesn't matter. You're looking way too much into the details that don't directly influence the output you're trying to get to. Cool. Still with me? Point number 3. We're going to move on to this now. Point number 3 is your stories. If you are using Instagram, stories is probably where you're going to make the most money. You probably know this because you probably follow people and you probably know them really well just because of the stories they post. They post about their day. You feel integrated into them as a person, their lifestyle, and what they actually do. On the flip side, they're always posting polls and Q&As, and they're doing questions and answers so that you can actually figure out who they are and what they can help with. Every now and then they'll probably do a call to action, right? We'll touch on that, important number 4. But your stories, right? This is really where you're going to build up a ton of trust. People are going to understand about you, what you do, your journey. And the way you're going to approach your story content, it's not the same as your feed content. Your feed content, right, was about content with mass appeal that can appeal to tons of people, and then content that will nurture those people. With stories, it's different, because if you get 1 million views on a video, how many of them are going to watch your story? Not many. A few hundred, a couple of thousand. So the people who are going to be watching your stories most frequently are the people that already follow you. So think about it like this. If John followed you 2 weeks ago, what can you post on your stories today that gives John a better insight into who you are, why he should trust you, and what you could potentially teach him or do for him, or a result you could get him? So that could be doing a Q&A with your audience. That could be posting polls about what you do. For example, you're a fitness coach. You could have polls talking about, do you struggle with binge eating? Are you happy with your weight? Do you work out more than once per week? Polls like this that give you a pulse on who your audience is, but can also get your audience to engage and do mini hand raisers, right? When someone says, hey, when someone votes in your story saying, yes, I work out once per week, cool. Why not reach out to that person? See how they're doing. Are they seeing good progress? How's the progress going in the gym? Is it where they think it should be? Or the person that says no, reach out to them and, figure out why. Like, are they trying to get into the gym? Are they trying to work out? What's the problem? Of course, that's where you're going to get a lot of sales. And what I found to be probably the most powerful is when you use stories. Well, point number 4, which is call to actions. CTA for short. So you've probably heard of the term a funnel before, right? Well, Instagram is like a funnel. You see, the top of the funnel is the people coming into your content, seeing it for the first time from a viral Instagram reel. People at the very bottom of your funnel are the people that are going to buy your stuff, that have probably gone through all these stages. They've seen a viral video, engaged with your content, seen your stories on a daily basis, potentially saw you posted a call to action about what you do or how you could help them. They reached out and boom, you made a sale 2 weeks later. So if this is your funnel, we want them, of course, as many people down here. We've got our feed post up here, number 1. We've got our stories in here, and then CTAs. This is where the real money's made. So where are you going to do CTAs? You're going to do your stories, your feed, and your bio. When someone finds your content for the very first time, you want to make sure that there's a call to action in various places that they can see. An example, you have a video. In the caption of that video, there's a call to action at the very end of the caption. Fantastic. But is everybody going to see that? No, they're not. So then on your profile, because people are nosy, they're going to click your profile, see what you're about when they see your video. In your profile, in your bio, add a line that will show them how they could work with you, how they could learn from you. And that could be a call to action to click a link or to message you. It's up to you. And then finally, in your stories, maybe not every day, but every couple of days, add a call to action. I'm looking for X number of people that want to do this. Or if you want to learn about X and Y and get this results, DM me the word X. So you want to have this in multiple places. Don't just rely on one. So that at every point of the funnel, whether somebody's brand new, already watching your stories, or has been a follower for like 2 years, make sure there's call to actions consistently so they know how to reach out, how to get your help. Now, I'm conscious that we cannot spend too much time on this for now, because my goal with you watching this video right now is to get you to do really one thing, which is post content. If you do not post content, everything we've looked at here doesn't matter. You have a better understanding, right, as to how to do it, but it's only ever going to come to you if you take the action and post the content. And this can be scary, overwhelming, and for a lot of you, you're not going to have the exact clarity you feel you need to post content, which will hold you back. So what I'd recommend is getting help from somebody that can help you get that clarity, whether that's me or somebody else. I would love to continue and talk about, my DMs strategy, because when I say that my personal brand has made, well over 1 million at this point, how many people bought my stuff and bought from me from the DM conversations I had with them, which weren't always handled by me, which were sometimes handled by either VAs, automation, or appointment setters? Yeah, a really, really high percentage. I don't know, at least 60%. So I'd love to sit here and talk to you about the DM strategy, what to say, what not to say, how that works. But at the end of the day, this is where you need to start. You need to figure out your steps as to how you can post content now. All right, so look, if you want my help on this, of course, reach out. And here's my call to action to you in this piece of content. I have a link in the description of this video, which has information about how you can work with me. Feel free, have a look at the links, reach out to me on Instagram. We can chat there. We can genuinely see if what I offer is good for you. So if you have an SMMA, consulting, coaching, digital product business, or you're starting one, follow this process. Come back to me in a month and let's see your progress.